License plate number 367ZKL. Officer here. He's knocking at the door. He's knocking at the door. He's knocking at their door. Yeah, it's a different one.
Cool. We can run around with that one too.
Yeah.
I do not care.
It's YouTube live already. I'm just waiting for him to come on over here.
This is what y'all should be doing when the police act wrong, everybody. This is what you should be doing. Record and stay by your rights all the time. Don't listen to a cop when he's in the wrong.
Daddy.
Left over. Get out of that kick.
He said, oh, he's about to jump that.
I'm gonna go get you some tea.
He's like, yeah, Dad, I was playing in the water. I was playing in the water.
Oh,
I love the water. I love the water. You love the water? I love the water.
Baby.
Leftovers. What's your shit?
He ran down there just to jump in and just look at.
He jumped in, looked at him, and took right back out. Hey, leftovers, you're gonna pop that pull. Get out of it. I didn't spend an hour blowing it up my mouth for you to pop it. Yeah, because I couldn't make the seal until.
Are you running, Papa?
Yeah.
The police are back.
That's a new one.
It's a new call.
It's a different one. They thought they'd call in one of his good buddies from the force to try to get us taken care of because they didn't like Harrison's response. That's probably what it was, huh?
I don't care what they think.
I don't either. Where's my new pack of cigarettes? In your purse?
I haven't seen them. They're probably down underneath your seat.
I just tried to look in there. Guess I'm gonna smoke one of these nasty ass Newports.
You know, the laws have been out here. It's kind of difficult.
It's sucker complaint. No, they can't charge me. They ain't charging nobody. They need to learn the law around here. Again, that license plate number is 367ZKL. 367ZKL. Because over here, I'll be at Lawrence County making a complaint against him. And then I'll foyer his body feed. I'm going up here to foyer Harrison's body feed too, because he should have had body feed on too. But if you notice, that man wasn't even wearing a body cam.
No, but their whole conversation was on their.
It better be on their car, because I'm going to be foyering it.
Because he was sitting inside his car while he was talking to her.
Here's your ticket cut.
I can't help it. People are misinformed about law.
He said, I mean, yeah, I guess just figured I'd add you since I knew you. I said, LMAO sounds about right. How you been, man? You get your lawyer shit paid off yet? Or you still not allowed back to
Oh, you forgot about it.
Last off the boat. I was the person that got them, man.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting on these folks. Fortnite Pro, hey. Oh, that's over a dog's. All because of the dog. That's like that except this is the file today as well. But yep. They deal with one this morning. I'm gonna be getting this baby bad number 2. Perforated. A perforated butthole. Hey, hand me that blue Charger. Hand me that blue Charger before I go off air.
Hey, down the boat. And yeah, I did. I got it all paid off. Still out here working. We back painting again this year. And damn, I painted.
But yep, I talked to one cop about this morning. I'd love to another one this morning too, if I have to. This is not gonna keep fucking happening. I'm not gonna keep fucking worried about my dogs being fucking killed. And now this is a public record. So if my dogs get murdered, I'm going after this guy right here for animal cruelty. Because it's illegal as hell. Hell of illegal. Everything I do on YouTube Live, especially with dealing with these folks.
That white S2, that's working cameras. We used to hang out with him. Go switch sides, man. He can't. Comes right back into the other. Yeah.
He came back with me.
Yeah. In the PO's beautiful. And Uncle D went to see him with his own 2 eyes. And Uncle D lied. You got me messed up telling me my Uncle D Wayne's lying to me. Because I confronted him about it. I said, you gonna snitch on us now? No. And you gonna snitch for the wrong reasons? He's not even illegally here.
Baby, look at the dog. Baby.
Yeah, I see them over there turning the leaves.
Like it's mine. Smack me in the face.
It's my little best friend that had the balls.
Hit me. I'm fine and bad.
I'm gonna get his badge number. You don't know this is a report to me. I want the report number. I want the report number. I'm gonna get it. I need to know what both sides said. You ain't gonna sit here and threaten my dog. You can get new ones. No. Whoever posted that last, or commented that last is fucking ignorant. You can just get new ones. It's not the point. The point of the fact of the matter is ain't nobody gonna sit here and kill other people's dogs and get away with it.
They seem like a lot, those bigger dogs, like pit bulls,
So for
Rottweilers,
she's
they
got
get
one.
it. They're
She's got one
Jones.
that's this long.
That's the only reason why that lady has an issue. You hear me? That is the only reason why that lady has an issue is because they're pit bulls.
Yes, and that's exactly what Virgie said.
Here's the thing, they're only illegal to have in Ravenden, and only if you're a resident in Ravenden.
You ain't legally to have a pit bull in Raven, they say. Ask Big John, he'll tell you. He tried to run off China White out of Raven.
Yeah, I said it's illegal to have.
Yeah, that's not illegal. It's illegal. If you look up the definition of what a vicious dog is, it never says nothing about pit bull in that thing.
Well,
A vicious dog.
Cops that go to Ravenden say it's illegal to have a pit bull. In
Yeah, like, I confronted John about that.
And stuff like
And I
that.
could,
It's because
But
they
I
put
don't
them in
understand why it's specific pit bulls specifically, because they're not the only dogs used for that shit.
no, you got German Shepherds, you got Chihuahuas, you got Rottweilers, you got Doberman Pinschers.
You got
They've all
Great
been
Danes.
banned.
You got
Every
Great
one of
Dane
them.
Torsos.
Yes,
You got
they've
African Bull Mastiffs.
all been banned.
They're
So
all
all
fighters.
because the pit bull is a new ban fab now that they're gonna take it out on my dogs. They got me confused.
I'll tell you what, these babies ain't bred to be fighting dogs. These
No.
babies are bred to be fighting bears. There's a difference. There's a reason why a pit bull has the same exact head as a bear.
The Cass?
Nope. Hello? Big ass mouth, no thank you, go away.
But no, they have
No.
the same head shape as
I'm
a
in
bear.
I'm in Limboden. The Parable ain't that far. If there's corrupt shit going on there, I'd be more than happy to go set it straight. Well, we ain't doing corruption today. Wait, my pole. They need to stay the scope of Constitution is what the hell they need to do. Yeah, what's your name and badge number, sir?
Deputy Sharp, 109.
Deputy Sharp 109. How you doing, sir?
Pretty good, how about you?
My name's John Bursall.
John Bursall.
Yes, sir. My dogs, come on over here. Let me show you. I showed this to Mr. Harris. Every day I leave at 5. I work at Sonic. I put my dogs in there. Now, as you can see, and I told him when I leave I'll start zip tying this. So I'll make sure that they don't get out. But I can't control it, you know what I mean? But when he came over threatening my dogs, that's a federal offense.
Well,
In a way, yeah, killing another person, under the definition of federal law, killing another person's dog without their permission is animal cruelty. And I would not give him no permission to kill my dogs. Them are my babies. That'd be like me coming up and telling you I'm going to kill your dogs. It's not going to happen. You're not going to allow it.
here's the thing.
If my dog was vicious, they wouldn't be running around with a 2-year-old.
Well, also with that being said, I'll say this. Every person has a right to protect themselves,
Yes.
their property, and their
Yeah,
family.
They've already been talked to about a cop a while ago.
Mr. Harrison talked to him
Yes.
and informed them that they were kind of misinterpreting the law. Misinterpreted the ignorance of the law is no excuse around here, sir.
Okay, I won't disagree with that.
Here.
Mhm.
I had Judge Mr. Johnson tell me that 3
Well-
times one day, and I was like, he asked me what I learned when I left his office. I said, ignorance of the law is no excuse, sir. He said, at least you're listening.
Yep, well, and that's true.
You know what I mean?
And so with that being said, there is no leash law,
That's right.
but if that dog is attacking somebody and
That's a vicious dog. That's considered a vicious dog. If it attacks without provocation on an animal or a human, that is considered a vicious dog. The ordinances is probably Walnut Ridge, Pocahontas, where there is leash laws. You know what I mean?
It does not have to have a leash law. Do what?
What's your name?
Sharp.
Sharp 109.
Like the county.
Like the county. You're right.
Well, matter of fact,
That's where your family's from, ain't it?
Well, that's my family's the one that settled there.
Yeah.
No, like I said,
That's history.
it is.
That's history. I'd like to actually talk to you about that one day, if outside of that suit. But yeah, I told Mr. Harrison that I would do my best to keep my dogs over here and keep myself over here. He came over to me and approached me and threatened my dog. I let it go all night, and I slept on it all night long. And I woke up this morning and I told her, tell her husband that it's not okay to sit here and threaten my dogs. It's just not okay. I'm not gonna accept it. I should have called the police last night and had this recorded.
Yeah.
I should have. But my wife was very disagreeant with me. She goes, just let it go. And I'm the type, if I see something wrong, I can't
Here,
just.
let me ask you this. So where did the argument come from today?
I came out, I said, just tell your husband.
Hello. Hey, buddy. It wasn't very bad. I mean, it was bad. It busted the whole headlight bumper on the driver's side and all the way to the step side of the truck. Not a bad repair.
But the argument from this morning was from last night. I tried to just explain that I'm not
I did.
gonna sit here and
The truck and everything.
threaten my dog or I'm gonna call the police. Well, they ended up calling before I did.
Okay. It's
So-
on the web out there. It's on my body.
Hey, he's married his body cam.
Yeah.
Don't see it. That's what I like. I like body cams. Because it keeps both individuals from misinterpreting anything.
Okay. That'll work. Like I say, whatever you want to do on it, just let me know. So the owner of the construction company was a little upset because nobody claimed the cows. Well, I said, I hate that for you, but you should have told him to leave the scene.
Cow.
I told him, I said,
Somebody hit a cow, guys.
I said, I don't know what we're going to do to tell you that. We're still trying to find an owner for it. But if they're coming to get it and you want to split it or whatever, just let me know, buddy. Yes, sir, out of Jonesboro. The truck is actually parked behind Cheddar's there at Porsche. It's a white truck. It's one of the sand trucks. All right, buddy. Well, if you need anything at all, I'm here at Imboden right now. So if you need anything at all, just let me know. All right, buddy. I appreciate you. All right. Bye.
That a whole cow or a half a cow?
That's a whole cow that got hit by an 18-wheeler.
Wow. But no, I just asked her to tell her husband that I did appreciate him threatening my dogs and next time to stay on his property. And that's how the argument started. And she got hysterical on me and said, your dog chased my babies. I said, my dog would have bit your dog or your kids or something, I'd understand. I'd be completely
also,
understanding.
On that case, I'll back it up here. Let's just say that it's me and I'm out here talking to you and your dog comes out aggressive to me. I'm going to put it down before it ever bites me.
Well, I'd hope that you would rethink, the situation because
you have the right to protect yourself before you're ever
right,
harmed.
I understand that.
And
And if my dog were to look, I'm gonna show you something real quick.
I've been up here with the dog.
You've been up here with my dog,
I've been up here, but
so they're not
it's
vicious.
my first time being here.
So they're not vicious.
Like I said, and with that being said, every animal's different towards different people.
Right, and I understand that.
So
I completely
now-
understand
But
that.
here's the thing. Here's what you got to look at. Did she feel like it was threatening to their kids? You've got to see it from that point of view too.
I understand.
So
I do.
Just because you perceived it as not being dangerous did she perceive it as not being dangerous to her kids?
Right.
Did her kid feel like it was in danger from your dog?
Now you're reaching into other aspects here.
And that's what I'm saying. But
Right.
as to where you stand, where does your fear belong with my fear or their fear?
Right.
I mean,
Which is I comprehend
It's kind of
what
like,
you're
it's kind
saying.
of like seeing it in the eye of the beholder.
Right.
Just because you see it one way to somebody else, that person over here may not see it in the same way as you do.
But see,
If you
they
feel
have
scared
an
or
issue with pit bulls, period.
I don't know. Like I say, I don't know about that.
There's folks around here that have vouched that to me when they came over here the first time talking to me about my dogs. And I had brought it up to a few people in this town, and they're like, yeah, they are totally against pit bulls in that house. I said, well, I try to keep my dogs away from them. I do. As you can see, I work from 5 o'clock in the morning till 2 o'clock in the afternoon at Pocahontas Sonic. Right? I come home, and how my dogs get out, only thing I can think of is right here. This is the only way I can think how my dogs would get out. But I try, and I try to reason with everybody around. But when it comes to threatening them, you didn't have to come over here and make a threat. You could have said, "Hey, we talked about this. The next step, I'm calling the police," and that would have been better. But when you said, "I'm gonna kill your dogs," I slept on it all night, bro. And I'm like, I'm not gonna sit here and just let him talk to me like that, like I'm some lame that's gonna let you just kill my dogs. Because I ain't gonna go over there. If your dog came over here, which it has, I'm not gonna go over there and say nothing to you. It's a dog. It does what it does. I don't have no control over your dog, just like you have no control over other people's dogs. I couldn't control the situation because I wasn't here.
Right.
But believe me, if I was here, sir, this whole situation, you being here, wouldn't even be happening. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
I work 8 hours a day. I come home, and my dogs are out. Which is baffling to me. No, I ain't got time for you. Which is baffling to me because how do they keep, like I told Harrison, the most I can think of is here, ooh, and I'm gonna take zip ties when I leave in the morning. From now on, I'm gonna take my zip ties, and I told him, I'm gonna zip tie that. That's the best I could do.
Well, I mean, like I say, it's not so much the dog situation that I've been called out for. It's the situation of the
Argument?
argument.
Yeah.
between the two. And
And I told her I didn't want to argue. I just told her what I had to say, and then she
I'll
got
put
hysterical
it
on me.
plain and simple. I'm probably about the most outspoken, straightforward there is.
Right.
I won't put up with it.
I understand.
I mean, I don't care to take everybody to jail. It don't
No, I
bother me a
understand.
bit.
I understand.
don't want to.
I don't
Before I
have
can-
time to go to jail either. I
But
got a
my
job.
thing is I can't come out here and babysit adults. Whether it be
You
or
shouldn't
them
have
or
to.
whoever.
You shouldn't have to.
So-
We're all adults. We should be able to handle our own problems
And
on
that's-
ourselves.
And my biggest thing is if you've got a problem,
I stay away from them.
talk
I,
about
I,
it. I mean, yeah, I
when you
get-
guys came out, I thought that when Harrison came out, I thought that was the end of the story. I thought that was the end.
and I think Harrison come out because I couldn't get over here. I was
Right.
on another call somewhere else. So that's the reason he came out here to help us.
Right.
But I like to say, and I greatly appreciate Harrison coming out because, like I said, I can't.
You were busy.
I was in.
I understand. Right. I appreciate him coming out because he was very respectful. He was straightforward. You know what I mean? And I told him I'd do my best to keep that situation never happen again.
Well, like
I said I'll stay on my I'll stay on my lawn. They can stay on theirs.
And it won't be hissing and hollering back and forth.
No, that was just a one-time thing because I woke up upset, bro.
Okay. Well, and I get it.
That
As long as
blue dog was born the day my dad died.
As long as we're on the same page with that,
Right.
I'm good with it.
Yeah,
Like say,
I ain't got nothing else to say to those folks.
I
What I
don't wanna
said,
come
this morning, it was over with. It was done. I said, don't threaten the dogs no more, and we won't have an issue. Because if we have an issue, I'll have to call the police. And that's exactly what I told her. And she goes, I'm calling them. I said, good. Well, then we'll go YouTube Live, which, as you can see, we're live. We've been live ever since before Harrison got here.
Right. And
We got it on live where she got hysterical and ran over to the neighbor's house like as if I was going to attack her. I'm not
Well,
the
like I said,
attractive type person.
My biggest thing.
If I'm going to attack somebody, I'm going to attack them in the courtroom.
Well, like I said, and that's my biggest thing. As long as the issue's solved, I got no problem.
That's
with it.
right.
But if I come back,
Oh, you won't have to worry about that for me.
that's where I have another issue.
I understand that. And you don't like repeating yourself.
No.
I understand that.
No.
Nobody does.
No. Like I say, I mean, this ain't the first time I've been over here, and I've even said the same speech. To the
Yeah,
man
because
sitting there.
something about them two
Yeah.
got into it the other
I
day.
don't know what it was.
I don't either. I got home and they said the police was here. You should have been here with your YouTube. I said if they were acting quarterly, I ain't nothing I got to YouTube.
You know, and
But when
that's-
they're coming up in here and disregarding their oath to the Constitution, that's when I
I
record.
treat everybody fair.
And I respect that, sir. I really do. And I am a constitutionalist. People have it. Randolph County, his whole crew, Kevin Bell's whole crew thinks that I'm a sovereign citizen. Oxymoron statement. It is, because you can't be a sovereign and a citizen at the same time. You can't be your own king aligned to somebody else. Now, that's beside neither here nor there. That's my law. That's my book of law. That's all I do every day. When I ain't working, I study law. Because I was put in prison in 2009 for breaking a phone and kicking a car.
To breaking what?
A phone and kicking a car. In Missouri, they have domestic laws.
Mm-hmm.
And because I had my third domestic, they hit me with a felony, and I spent 2.5 years in prison for something that I really didn't do. She tried to take my kid from me. I grabbed her phone. I said, "You ain't gonna go nowhere without that, are you?" She said, "Watch me." And then I kicked her car. She went to snatch her phone. I snapped it. I went to prison for 2.5 years for it. Sounds crazy, but it happened.
I can't speak for Missouri
You
law.
know what I mean? You can't, but that's how it went in Missouri. So when I moved down here, I came down here with a fresh slate. But when I moved to Randolph County, they see me as a sovereign, because the first time an officer who's a probation officer up there now, McMillan, illegally tried to enter my house. And I said, "Sir, without a warrant, I'd appreciate it if you just walk outside with me and we'll talk on my stoop." He didn't like that.
Well, if you're on probation,
Right, and I wasn't. I came down here I had 12 my time in Missouri, and I came down here with a clean slate. And that's exactly what I expected to do, is a clean slate. Everybody look at me as if I'm just a regular person.
right?
Because I served my debt to society. I went and did 2.5 years for something I feel like I didn't do wrong.
Right.
And now I've got to the point where they illegally charged my wife in Missouri, or Randolph County, for possession of guns that were antique firearms that was passed down by her grandpa. They made her a criminal. You see what I'm saying? Made her
Like I said, I can't speak for Missouri.
No,
law.
this is Randolph County, sir.
Oh, Randolph.
This is
Okay.
Kevin Bell's territory.
Okay.
We all know who Kevin Bell is. Yeah, a piece of shit in my eyes. And I'll say it to his face. And he came to my house because he tried to run over my Maine Coon. I don't know if you know anything about Maine Coons, but they're the largest domesticated cat, and they're a $1,500 cat. And Kevin Bell tried to run my cat over, and I confronted him about it. Just like when he said something about killing my dog. It took me a couple minutes, or a whole night, to say something, but I confronted it. Because I was like, "You're not going to sit here and threaten my dog. Just tell your husband to stop threatening my dog." And it went hysterical after that. And she went running down there, and then Harris came, and then now you're here. All it had to go as far as, man said, if you have an issue, call the police.
And I'll say the same thing. Rather than y'all sitting here hooping and hollering back and forth
Force,
across the road,
call the police.
call us.
Right.
And like
Which
I
we
said-
don't need babysitters. We
No.
should be grown-ass men.
And that's what I said. If I come back, I will take you to jail.
Right.
Take whoever to jail, because I'm not going to do this all day long.
And I don't expect you to. And I don't expect this to go any further than what it is. This is over. You've addressed it. Harris addressed it. That should be the end of the story.
Sounds
I'll
fair
keep my
enough.
dogs in my cage when I leave, and I'll zip tie the door so they can't get out. And hopefully we don't have this issue no more.
That sounds like a plan to me.
All right, I appreciate it,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Appreciate
Who's
you.
that?
That's Cass.
Cass?
All right.
You know Cass? The bondsman? It's Sharp.
What about Lynn?
What about what? I said,
What about?
he's standing here talking to me right now.
And the Mexican restaurant's that way.
But yeah, we got it all figured out. He's about to go over there and tell them what I said, and I think that's pretty much it. I told him I ain't got nothing to say to those folks.
Tell him to solve it.
So,
I just did.
you hear him? He said he just did.
And Cass, I made it perfectly clear. If I come back, I'll take everybody to jail. I don't care.
Yeah, I know you will, Sharp.
All right, buddy. I'm gone.
I appreciate it.
All right, man. Have a good one.
You too.
So what's up, buddy?
I was just calling you back to see if you figured anything out on that section.
No, by the time I went to looking stuff up, he pulled up.
Okay.
So I really didn't get a chance to look up nothing. But
Yeah.
I'm YouTubing. I got people on here. And them are the facts. I'm gonna get off YouTube now.
You know,
It's almost harassment.
that is harassment.